Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the entire fog light assembly, which includes the fog light as well as your driving and signal lights. And if you're looking just to do the bulbs, just check out our other videos. We do have a video for just replacing the bulbs. And this procedure is the same for 2003 to 2007 CTS. And the procedure is the same for the CTS V, although the assembly is a little different because of an air intake duct. Tools you'll need are a flat blade screwdriver, a shop light or a flashlight will help you out, 10mm socket with a ratchet and at least a 6-inch extension, needle nose pliers, and you'll also need a 7mm socket with the ratchet, or a 7mm wrench will also work.
Okay, remove a series of pins here.
Okay, there are 8 total across the top, 3 in each wheel well, and 8 down across the bottom.
To get these clips off, it's pretty easy. Use a flat blade screwdriver, kind of pry in the middle, and pull up the middle of the clip, and then pull them out. Okay, now these ones on top come out pretty easy. The ones on the bottom will be a little more difficult because they'll have sand kind of jamming up the works in them. If you do come up to a difficult one, usually you can get them started pretty well. And then what I do when I have a hard time with them is I'll just use a pair of pliers and just use them and pull the clip out. Okay, and the middle will come out sometimes. And if the middle comes out, then just carefully pry the rest of the clip up. Pull it out. Okay, as you're taking it apart, just leave a couple of these pins in without their centers at the top here, and I'll show you why later. Okay, now on each side, what you're going to want to do is take your inner fender and separate your inner fender from your bumper cover. And pull it down. Okay, pull it right out. Okay, right up in there you can see a 10mm bolt. You want to remove that 10mm bolt on each side. Okay, now you have to go in and loosen up 2 10mm nuts, one right there, and one you can just see further up. So you'll need an extension, the longer the better. Best one to use actually is about a foot long, but if you have this size, it'll be okay. Reach right up in there. The first one. And you just need to loosen these up. Once you get them loose, they actually hand up in there, turn them a little bit. Okay, now to get to the second one, I'm going to squeeze the pins on the back of this marker light and push it out. So I'm just squeezing right back there. Okay, push that out. Disconnect it. Okay, go in. Get that other nut. Obviously you want to do this on both sides. Once you have those undone, then your bumper cover starts to come off. Okay, now that you have both sides loose, okay, you take this pin out of the top and pull this down slowly. I'm just going to put this pin back in the hole. I'm going to remove this other pin I have holding it. This thing's probably going to want to just about jump off. Okay. Go down easy. Okay. There is a connector right back here for the fog and parking lights. Just connect it on this side. Hold it. Disconnect this side. Okay. And then my whole fascia comes off. Okay, so our fog light and running light, There's 3 bolts that hold it on this regular model. If you've got a CTS-V, it just has 2 bolts at the bottom, but there's 1 bolt that you reach from the front. I'll remove that first.
And I'm going to speed up here as I remove that bolt and the other 2. These are 7mm head bolts, so you will need a 7mm socket.
Okay. And your assembly comes out. Obviously my original is in fine shape, but the replacements from 1A Auto are designed to bolt right in. I guess we'll just leave that screw right there. I suggest starting all 3 of your bolts first.
Okay, so I'm going to speed it up here again. Again, I start the 3 bolts first to make sure they're going in correctly, and then tighten them up. And you don't have to tighten them up really tight, just make them nice and firm. And you can see that really the major part of this repair is just getting the bumper cover off, so you can get at the fog light and replace it. And again, like I said, on the CTS-V, this procedure is the same, just the headlight is a little different because it has an air intake right underneath it.
Got 2 pins. Put in at the middle positions here. Yes, let's put those in. Okay, that allows me flexibility. I can reach in behind here and connect a fog light connection. Same thing on this side. Is you want to make sure you have these nice and loose and these pins popped up some.
Just real quick, I'm going to clean off the edge of that bumper cover and the fender.
Put this in, slide it back, and just reinforce that stay in place. Clip right there.
And I hope it goes without saying, I'm showing you what I'm doing on one side and then I'm doing it on the other, but I'm not necessarily filming it when I'm doing it both sides, just to keep the video somewhat brief. Okay, first we're reaching up there with my hand and just tightening the 2 10mm nuts by hand some. Okay, now using my 10mm socket and ratchet extension and doing this on the ground, so you can see you don't need a lift, you don't have to have it up in the air, just turn your wheels to give yourself some extra room. Pull the bumper cover back and push it in as you tighten it, then tighten them up and then put the marker light on, and obviously repeat the same steps for the other side. Okay, here for the 10mm bolt that goes up in there, I use a small screwdriver, put it up in there, make sure that the hole's lined up, and then obviously use my socket ratchet extension and tighten that 10mm bolt up. And again, repeat for the other side.
Okay. Now you want to make sure that you get everything together. All this in and make sure it goes together nice like that.
Okay, once you have those steps completed on both sides, now I'm just putting the rest of the clips back in on the top, then on each wheel well.
Okay, so you can actually see here, this should be up inside of here. Not the best way to do it, but okay, and then kind of the final thing as far as lineup goes, this here should also be above.
Okay, a little fast forward here, and I'm putting the pins in. As you can see, I'm reaching up through the little holes, kind of pulling down on that panel. That helps to keep the panel together and make sure the pin that goes through both the lower fascia and that panel. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.oneauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.